Hey guys, thank you for joining me for another video. Today we're going to be talking about living in the present moment and why this is so important in terms of our happiness and our productivity in life. You know, the mind is kind of like a puppy dog or like a toddler. Sometimes it just, wanders off on its own. And if no attention is given to it, it might wander off into dangerous territory. And sometimes our mind gets stuck in the past, in what's happened to us in the past, or how great life was in the past, or how terrible, life was, or bad things that happened to us in the past. Sometimes our mind goes wandering into the future about the way things are going to be better one day, or it could be better one day, or anxiety about the future, about what terrible things might be coming for us if we don't get our projects done, we don't get our work done on time. And when we live in the past or we live in the future, we've already made the commitment to ourselves to not be happy. I want you to think about that, okay? When we make the decision to let our mind live in the past or live in the future, we are making a commitment to ourselves to not be happy, because happiness is always found in the present moment. I understand how important it is to prepare for the future and to plan for the future. But sometimes we can get so caught up in the future that we are missing what's right in front of us right now. Think of it as like maybe the person that's working way too many hours during the week, and they keep putting off rest. They're always thinking about the project they're working on. They're always thinking about the next project they're working on. So much so that they just kind of like are continually delaying taking a break, continually delaying rest, continually delaying happiness. It's as if they're thinking, yeah, I'm happy now, but I'll be so much happier one day when I am promoted to this other position, or one day when I have this dream job, or one day when I finish this education program. And so it's like they're constantly thinking about the destination and arriving at the destination. And so what happens is they miss the journey that they're on. And then when they arrive at the destination and you actually get that promotion, or you actually get that task done, what they discover is there's just another task that needs to be done. There's another promotion waiting after this one. And so as soon as they arrive at their destination, they're thinking about the next destination and not really taking time to enjoy the process. Happiness happens right now. Happiness happens in the present moment. And I think those who are wise understand, and this is something that we have to continually remind ourselves, that life is just one present moment after another. You're always living in the present. And if happiness is only something that's coming in the future that you expect, or happiness is only something that you experience in the past, or if the future is just a bunch of frightening, terrible, worst case scenarios, or the past is nothing but what people did to you and how people have hurt you and how people have harmed you, you're stuck living in the past or the future. You're not really present to the present. You're not really here in the present. And that's where happiness is going to be found. I wanted to hit a couple of quotes from a book I'm reading and studying about happiness. It's called You Can Be Happy No Matter What by Richard Carlson. And I wanted to just hit a couple of quotes and then see where it takes my mind, what we could talk about, what we could think about. Often, like in therapy, therapists will encourage clients to talk about the past. And the idea is, like, if you could understand your past and you could understand, where you're at now and why you got where you're at. But sometimes maybe they could over focus a little bit too much on the past, because yes, your past, shapes you and has helped you become the person that you are today. The experiences you've had in the past and the learning that you've had and the growth you've had in the past all make you who you are right now. But sometimes too much focus on the past will keep you away from ever really experiencing happiness in this life. Instead of teaching clients how to bring their attention back to the present moment, I think a lot of therapists or counselors keep their clients stuck in the frustrations of the past. Doing so is going to guarantee that they stay in negative feelings. Even if the past was great, then isn't there a negative feeling that we can't relive the past? Even if all of your thoughts about the past are good thoughts, then it's going to bring about a negative feeling that, oh, wasn't it so much better back then? If only I could go back to the way things were when I was a child. If only I could go back to the way things were when everything was, in the past, when everything was different. And it's going to bring about some melancholy, negative feelings. Now, it just reinforces the idea that you're a victim, and it just reinforces you justifying the negative feelings that you have when you get stuck in the past. When your attention is mired in the past or in the future, it's predictable the kind of quality of life you're going to have. It's not going to improve. When all you think about is the past, or all you think about is the future, you got to think about right now, and you got to think about what's going on around me right now. What could I do for somebody right now? What could I enjoy right now? How could I more deeply experience what's in my life today? The only way to experience genuine and lasting contentment and satisfaction and happiness is we have to learn to live our life in the present moment. We have to learn to live our life right now in our current circumstances. And they may not be exactly what they ought to be. I mean, maybe your present right now is a little tough. Maybe it's challenging to live in your present right now. But a mind that is out of the moment is fertile ground for anxiety, worry, regret, and guilt. And face it, guys, that's where a lot of people live. That's their address: anxiety, worry, regret, and guilt. We can waste a lot of time worrying about what might happen, what could happen. At best, we could prepare for the future, but we can't predict the future. But some people spend their whole lives, predicting the future. They might as well just be astrologers, trying to always predict what could happen, what might happen, what's going to happen, what I'm not going to get, why this won't work. And even if they're focused on the future successes, they're maybe not taking time to enjoy their present successes. So happiness just continues to be elusive because of your focus on the future. You can't really enjoy anything right now because all you can think about is what you hope to have in the future. So many people live as if the past has a power over them, over their life right now. But really, your past is powerless over you. The only power your past has is the power you assign to it, is the power you give to it. Your past has got you to where you're at right now. Whatever decisions, whatever choices that you've made in the past have led you to where you are right now, and that's it. It's done. You've got to live in this present moment that are in many ways the consequences of the choices that have been made and the effects of the actions that you've taken and others have taken for you and against you in your past have led you to your present. And so you're living in the present based on what's happened to you in the past. And that's it. Your past is memories. That's all it is. It's just thoughts. Your past is thoughts, is memories. And again, who has control over your thoughts? You do. So you can decide whether you're going to dwell on the thoughts of the past or about the past, or whether you're going to dismiss those thoughts, learn the lessons from them, and then go on. So that's where the relevance ends, is that your past has contributed to your present. But your past is just, all it exists today as is thoughts, pictures, photographs, videos, thoughts. Nothing more and nothing less. It's all just memory. And seeing your past as nothing more than a harmless memory allows your attention to return to where it should be, which is where? The present. To the here and now. You don't have to follow every memory down memory lane. You don't have to follow every memory that enters your mind. You can understand your memories and your thoughts for what they are. Simple, harmless thoughts that pass through your mind. Think of them like dreams. You have a dream, you wake up, you think about your dream, but you know it's not real, you know it's just a thought. Well, somehow when we think about our past, we think about what's happened to us or what we've done, it seems like it's more than just a dream. It seems like it's something we need, like, oh, I thought of this, so I must need to do something. I must need to worry about this. I must need to have anxiety over this. When you could do the same thing you do with a dream, sort of think about it, laugh it off, and dismiss it. So you have thousands of thoughts every day. How many of those thoughts do you need to put a saddle on and ride to Texas? Not very many of them. Most of the thoughts that you have, you should probably dismiss. Maybe enjoy the thought for a minute, the reflection, and then let it go. But if I'm sitting here right now reading a book and I have the thought, I want to drink a soda, what should I do? Shut the book, get up, leave the place I'm at, drive to the store and get a soda? I could go do that. And a lot of people, when the thought enters their mind, it's like they think, we have to go do that. I have to go get that. You don't have to go get that. You don't have to act on every thought. You can let the thought pass and say, well, now's not really the best time, or now's not really appropriate, or I made a commitment not to drink any soda this week, or I'm trying to cut back on something, or I just need to focus on what I'm doing. I need to focus on the present moment and not let my thoughts always move me away from what I'm doing. What I'm doing, when I'm invested in what I'm doing, it's going to bring happiness into my life. Even if it's a task that isn't the most thrilling task. Even if it's something that you might say is mundane. The research indicates that when you do something mundane and you're 100% invested in what you're doing, it will bring enjoyment in your life. Even if it's something that you don't necessarily enjoy. If you're 100% invested in what you're doing, mowing the grass. Not everybody really enjoys mowing the grass. But if you are 100% present in what you're doing, even mowing the grass can become a source of enjoyment in your life. But when you look at it as something I've got to get through, I got to get done with it. And so I'm going to put on my headphones and play the music as loud as I can to distract me from what I'm doing. And the whole time you're thinking through what people said to you in the past and what did they mean by that, and you're thinking about the future, what are we going to do tomorrow, and tomorrow's going to be great, tomorrow we're going to have so much fun, tomorrow we're going to go to the beach, tomorrow we're going to go out on the boat, tomorrow we're going to go fishing, and you do everything you can do to move yourself away from what you're presently experiencing, then mowing the grass becomes a chore. Mowing the grass becomes nothing more than something I got to get through. And here's the way most people are living life right now. Stuff they got to get through. They go to their kid's recital and it's just something they've got to get through. They go out and pitch the ball with their son. It's just something I got to get through so that I can get back to my phone, get back to my computer, get back to my projects I'm working on for work. And really those projects you're working on for work are, guess what? Just something you got to get through. I got to get through this project so I can get through the next one. And when I get to the next one, I got to get through that one. And you're just rushing and racing, and no wonder the stress in your life is so high. And why you feel so overwhelmed and why you feel so unfulfilled. Because everything in life is just get through it, get through it, get through it. And then tomorrow's going to be great. Won't tomorrow be great, or won't tomorrow be problematic? And so what are you not doing? You're not living in the present, not enjoying the present, not experiencing the present. All of its highs and lows you're not experiencing, you're just getting through it. You're sitting through class because I want to get done with this semester. When I get done with this semester, then I'm going to get done with this year, and then I'm going to get done with this degree program, and just rush, move through everything, but not enjoying the process. You're not really present to what you're doing, and when you're not present, there's no chance of you experiencing happiness in it if you're not present. How could you be present to experience happiness and fulfillment and enjoyment in anything if you're not really there? Your body might be there, but your mind is not really there. Your mind is off in the Tomorrowland, or your mind is stuck in what somebody did to me wrong in the past land, that your mind is not really fully engaged in being present to anything right now. You're just simply trying to get through it because it's on your list of what you ought to be doing. Okay. So, as thoughts enter your mind, you have a choice. You can look at them and respond. mull them over, or you could simply let them go. It's up to you. And when you realize that, it's kind of like getting your driver's license. Now, instead of just going wherever the car takes you, now you get to decide. Do I want to turn left and think about the past? Do I want to turn right and think about the future? Or do I want to drive straight and just think about right now and enjoy right now? You get to decide what thoughts you're going to follow. You get to decide what thoughts you want to put a saddle on, which ones you want to ride, and which ones you just want to, let graze out in the field and ignore. So you decide if you're going to bring the thought to the front of your mind, or whether when it pops up, whether it needs to just be dismissed and let go. As long as you are aware that you're producing your own thoughts, that you're the thinker, then you can avoid what thoughts don't need to be given any mind to. The thoughts that make you feel sad. If you don't want to feel sad right now, you can decide you don't want to think about those things. The thoughts that make you feel angry. If you don't want to feel anger right now, then you can decide you don't want to. But see, here's the thing. Sometimes I think we want to feel anger. I think sometimes it feels good to us to get angry. And it makes us very energetic. Anger can get the house clean. Anger can get a lot accomplished. And when your goal is to get a lot accomplished, anger can be a productive emotion to help you get a lot accomplished. But what is it you want in life? Really, to get a lot accomplished, or to be present in what you are accomplishing? Because see, that's still stuck in that old thinking that if I accomplish a lot more, then I'll be happier. Well, why can't you be happy right now? You could be if you were present in what you were doing right now. But see, this idea is that I'll be so happy in the future when 10 items are checked off my list. Then look how happy I'll be. Then I'll be able to sit and enjoy. But you can't sit and enjoy now. What makes you think you're going to be able to sit and enjoy then? Practice sitting and enjoying right now. And then maybe you could enjoy the whole process of getting from 1 to 10. You could enjoy the whole process. Okay, so bringing your attention back to the present is a challenge. It's hard for us all. The only way thought or a series of thoughts can harm you is if you give them significance. If you don't give them any significance, then they can't hurt you. They can't harm you. Again, it goes back to somebody calling you too tall. You're too tall. If you think that's ridiculous, and I know I'm average height, then I'm not giving that thought any significance. It can't hurt me. But if I give it significance and I start to worry and think, oh no, maybe I am too tall, maybe I am too short, then you give that thought significance, then it has power to harm you. So you're giving consent to a thought to harm you. So when the thought pops up in your head, you don't have to give consent to it. You can say, I'm not going to think about this, or I'm going to ignore this, or if it's a real problem, I'm going to put it on the back burner and deal with it when I'm in a great mood. So what you pay attention to, what you take seriously, what you think about is going to drive what you feel. So you could just say, when you start to feel upset, frustrated, hurt, angry, worried, anxious, you could, instead of giving consent to that thought and putting a saddle on it, you could just say, whoops, there I go again. There I go again. Making something out of nothing. And slowly bring your attention back to the present. And guess what? That's where you're going to feel contentment, peace, joy, and happiness. And in the present, when your mind is at peace, you're in touch with your wisdom to better know whether issues are really problems or not. And if there is a problem, when you're in that place of contentment, you're better able to sort through those problems and to resolve those problems. So your thoughts can take you virtually instantly from a moment of everything's okay, I feel calm, I feel content, I feel at peace. Your thoughts can instantly take you from the present moment into all kinds of untold turmoil and trouble that might happen, that could happen, that's going to happen, without any actual changes taking place. You're worried about the zombie apocalypse is going to come if I don't get this paper, and if I don't get this thing done, if I don't get, you start to feel all this anxiety. And if I were to just say to you, okay, hang on just a second, right now, at this moment, are you okay? Well, yeah, I guess I am okay. Okay. That's the point. You are okay. Right now in this moment, you are okay. Now, tomorrow, oh, what could happen? Tomorrow, oh, what might happen? Tomorrow, oh, the world's going to be against me. Okay, but right now, in this moment right now, are you okay? Is somebody breaking down your door and has you under threat of life? No. Then you're okay. And if you're okay, then you can experience being okay. You should be calm. You could be at peace. And do your work under that sense of calm and peace. And you'll do much better work. Without any actual changes taking place, you can go from instantly being calm and in control and at peace to being worried, anxious, frustrated, disheartened, discouraged, when really nothing is taking place except your thought. Okay, so the solution to this, what's called mental sabotage, is to become more aware and more conscious of your mind spinning forward toward problems, deadlines, and issues, or spinning backward toward old wounds, old hurts, and old frustrations. You don't have to pretend that those things aren't there. You only need to be aware that your thinking is becoming engaged in that mental dynamic, and simply becoming aware that, oh, my mind is at it again. It's wandering away to a distraction or to some potential worry problem or to some past frustration. When you become aware that your mind is doing that, then you can remind yourself, oh, there I go again. I need to bring my mind back to what I'm doing, to the moment I'm in, to the dinner I'm having with my family, or to whatever activity that I'm engaged in. And then you'll begin to sense that most of life, which exists outside this moment, is just a part of my imagination and a part of my thinking. I'm worrying about stuff that may or may not ever happen. Learning to live in the moment is like I said, getting behind the wheel of the car for the first time. All of a sudden, you're in charge and you're able to decide at that moment what your experience is going to be. Paying attention to your feelings can help you, because your feelings can tell you whether a thought is starting to get out of line, whether you're starting to cook up something, and then when you start feeling all that anxiety, worry, and you can decide, oh, there I go again. I need to listen to my feelings. They're starting to trouble me. I need to maybe shift my thoughts and get out of this lane and get back into a better lane. The best way to deal with low moods is to distrust or ignore all of the thoughts that you're having in that low mood and put them on hold until you feel better. Because if you continue thinking about what you're thinking about that got you into that low mood, you're going to just further decline, or you're going to try to start solving all kinds of potential problems or problems in your life when you're not engaged with your relative peace, calm, and wisdom that you have from being in a high mood. So again, your problem will still be there. If it's a real problem, it'll be there when you're in a better mood, and you'll be better apt to deal with it. You'll be far more equipped to deal with a problem when you're in a better mood. Life is always going to seem easier, and your problems are going to seem more simple when you're in your right mind. And you might find that just unloading your problem on somebody who is an engaged listener can help you increase your mood and get back to a sense of peace. Even if they offer no help to you, if they offer no advice, they just simply listen to you as you kind of talk through your problem, you will feel better and you'll move up in your mood. And when your mood gets better, you'll be better able to realize that your problem may not be that big of a problem after all. Or at least if it is a problem, you'll be in a better state of mind to be able to deal with your problem. But that's okay. You can talk it out with somebody, but you don't need to. I don't think most of the time you need to. If you can shift your mind away from it and just say, I'm not going to think about this right now. I'm getting overwhelmed in my thoughts. My feelings are starting to drop, and I'm going to put this on the back burner, and I'll deal with it later. I'll deal with it tomorrow. I'll deal with it this afternoon. I'll deal with it when my mood is better. Everything in life is going to seem urgent and serious and full of problems when you're feeling low. The vast majority of us, we try to figure out our lives and we try to figure out our problems in our lives when we're in a bad mood, because that's when it suddenly becomes paramount that we solve all these problems, when we're upset. And the nature of figuring something out takes us away from the present moment. because then we're worried about what did they say in the past, what did they do in the past, and what do we got to do in the future, and what should we say, and what should we do, and where are we not living in the present? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What should I do? This anticipatory thinking or this past focused thinking keeps us farther away from life right now, and life is always lived right now. So one of the surest secrets of happiness is to learn to relax when we're feeling down or stressed, and have faith that you're going to incline out of this low mood, and this low period is just a low period in your life, and all of those feelings are going to pass, and things are going to look a lot more understandable when the sun's out again, when everything is brighter. Now is where happiness lies. Happy people understand that life is nothing more than a series of moments to experience one after another, living in the here and now, and right now is the moment that is truly lived. So when you focus your attention in this moment instead of what's yet to be or what has been in the past, you become more productive. Because when you're focused on the moment, you're not going to be distracted. Much of what makes us unproductive in our work is that we're so easily distracted. Statistics, I was just reading an article the other day about 45% of the time we're distracted away from our work. So you almost have to set a timer and say, for the next 15 minutes, I'm going to give my full attention to whatever project I'm working on. And when the timer rings, then I'm going to stand up and let myself be distracted for just a minute. And then I'm going to set my timer again. We almost have to do that because our attention has become so distracted with all of the television watching, all of the movie watching, all of the music listening to, all of the interaction, all of this checking social media, what somebody is saying. We distract ourselves away so much from the present that we become almost unproductive. You will be much more productive when you can focus on the present, because the present is where you get your work accomplished. You don't get your work done tomorrow. You get your work done now. You don't get your work done last week. Work gets done right now, or it doesn't get done. And if you're distracted from the present, then you can't get work done. See, you'll be much more effective. You're thinking about what you could do in the present, but your present looks so much better when you're focused on your future. Looks so much better when you've been focused in the present. Right now is when you begin that exercise program. Right now is when you begin that diet. Right now is when you begin that book that you've been putting off that you need to start reading. Right now is when you start your dissertation. Right now. If you just think about it as in the future, it's never going to get done. It'll be something you worry about. It'll be something that you have anxiety over, but it's not going to be something that gets finished until you start right now. Right now is where life is lived. All right. So the more present-oriented you become, and the more you learn to let thoughts go, whether they be from the past or the future or distractions, the more focused you can be, the more concentrated you can be, the more you can achieve your goals, the more undistracted, the more wise, the more appropriate your decisions. And when your mood is falling, change your thoughts till your mood is back up. And when it's back up, you're at 100% productivity again. 100% relational, 100% communication, 100%. You're ready for life because your mood is up. And you'll have this gift, this charisma, this charm, this essence that people can't understand what it is that makes you different. But what it is you've removed everything, all the obstacles that bring you down. And even when others around you are down, you don't have to be down. You can just do the same thing you do to yourself. Say, well, there goes my mind again. You just look at them in their low mood and go, whoop, there goes Charlie again, back in his low mood. I'm going to pray for Charlie. I'm going to pray for him. All right? But it doesn't have to bring your mood down. All right. And what chance does Charlie have of coming back up if everybody joins him down here? Somebody's got to stay up here. Recognizing that this up and down thing is just a normal part of life will help you get out of the low periods, because you know that this is not something you get stuck in, that you're going to come out of this. If you can remove the negative thinking that's bringing you here. All right. So you'll discover that when you are engaged in the moment, you feel what? Happy and satisfied. That's what the book's about, being happy. It's not about being right. It's not about arguing your case. It's not about proving everybody else wrong. It's about being happy. And guys, ultimately, that's what we're all moving toward. That's what heaven's about. We're never going to be perfectly happy in this world, and we shouldn't be. But that doesn't mean we can't enjoy all the wonderful things that God has put in this earth, such as family, such as friends, all the things that He's given us to enjoy in this life. But you're never going to enjoy them if you can't be present with them. All right, guys, as always, be present to life. Don't miss what's right in front of you, because all you're thinking about is what you're missing out on, or what somebody did to you or said to you. People are going to do and say things, okay? And they're going to do it usually because they're in a low state. And they're in a low state because they won't control their thinking. You don't need to be like that. You could be different. So as always, let's do this together. We're learning together. We're growing together. In the description beneath the videos, there's information of how you can get in contact with me if you need somebody to just encourage you and help you out in a personal way, and I'm available to do that for you. All right, take care, guys. I'll see you next time.